With over 17,000 users, Succession Link is the leading networking and communication platform connecting financial advisors who are interested in buying, selling, merging, and finding succession planning options for their practices. In the following interview, Phil Flakes, co-founder at Succession Link, interviews Chief Operating Officer Ben Silas at Granite Springs Asset Management. Hear about Ben's first-hand experience using the Succession Link platform to acquire a practice with $115 million in assets under management. We hope you enjoy listening, and we look forward to seeing you in the Succession Link community.
It sounds like you guys were able to successfully acquire a practice on the platform.
Yeah, so we are set to close. We have all the contracts signed and everything is all done. The actual close date is April 1st.
So how did you originally find Succession Link?
So I actually had done an acquisition through a competitor of yours. And so I had tried out that platform for a little while with a limited degree of success and kind of gave up. And then a couple of our other employees started to forward me your emails, basically advertising practices that were in our area. And so I joined up after reading a couple of those just to see what it looked like. And it ended up actually being very helpful.
To switch gears then, what would you say was maybe the biggest surprise for you throughout the process?
There hasn't really been any big surprises along the way. I think because both of us are doing this for the first time, there's an element of making it up as we go along. I've been surprised that we haven't hit more hurdles. A lot of what we went into it with was what do you want rather than here's what we're trying to do, which, you know, I've read a decent amount about this, but more is kind of how we're structured. I think when the nature of his business is single proprietor, he's owned it for a long time. Those don't tend to be the people that are going to come in and have someone dictate terms to them. They've, basically been operating their own shop for a very long time. They haven't had a boss in 15 years, So we spoke to him at length about what was important to him and what he was trying to achieve through the deal before we put a structure in place.
Great. Okay. So what I hear in that is just some notes are clear communication and flexibility. Would you say that those are two terms to sum it up?
Yeah, I think that's right. And I think patience would probably be the last one, right? Because you just, all those things require patience. So if our lawyer sends something that doesn't look right, or if you're under the impression that the way something was said doesn't do this, or, you haven't, there are just various different parts where the whole thing could have blown up if somebody wasn't patient about it and took a deep breath and kind of reassessed and said, okay, well, let's get back to what we're trying to do.
Yep. Understood. And so within the first hour that you spoke to the seller that you had success with, you got into numbers, or was it you understood their motivation, what they were trying to do and why they were doing it? Was it just about the numbers, or was it about, everything else that they also included in that 1 hour conversation in the beginning?
No. So the numbers came with their profile to a certain extent, right? Like,
yeah.
He was listed, down to the million accurately. His revenue number proved to be, caught within 5% of what was posted on the site. And so those numbers gave me kind of a baseline of what he was talking about. It was the other stuff that we talked about in the first hour of the business. What are your concerns? What are you trying to achieve here? What's your structure? What type of products do you currently manage? One of the things that's really appealing to us about this particular acquisition is he's a predominantly equity-focused manager while we're a predominantly fixed-income-focused manager. So we had some nice synergies there. But I think it definitely wasn't the first conversation, but very early on in the process, he was just very upfront and open about, here's what my book of business looks like. Here's how many clients. It's predominantly friends and family, or it's, I have these commingled products, and here's what I do. And I had a very good understanding of his business almost from the outset. This thing took me 18 months from initial conversation to close, and I don't know that that's the wrong timeline. I definitely think we could have streamlined the process in certain places, but I don't think it's a 3-month process ever. And so maybe it's time to go back to the well and, start looking around again. Our area has a tremendous amount of small RIA practices, and we're looking to add, smart, hardworking, good people.
Thank you for listening. If you would like to hear the full-length interview and other success stories, please visit us at successionlink.com or email us at info@successionlink.com. We hope to see you in the Succession Link community soon.